What is going on, guys? Noah Brewer here, back again with another video finally. And yes, this video will be about the new Shopify update, but before I get into that, I do want to tell you that in 2 months from now, me and Leighton Schwenning are getting together here in Arizona, and we are throwing our first public networking event for you guys so that we can all get together, meet, hang out, meet each other. You can network with other people in the community, and me and Leighton are also going to be talking about how to maximize Q4. The event is on October 7th, so it's literally right in the beginning of Q4, and we're going to give you everything that you're going to need to make a ton of money this Q4 with dropshipping and TikTok ads and possibly even meta ads. So if you would like to come out and meet us and get involved in the e-commerce community, you know, the real version of it at events where people are actually shaking hands and making friends and making real connections, the link will be in the description to go and buy a ticket. You can also DM me on Instagram if you're interested at Noah D Brewer, and I can give you more information, or if you have questions or whatever, I will get into it. But in this video, I'm going to be covering the latest features that Shopify just dropped, I believe last week, on their platform, and I've been tinkering around with them a little bit, and I'm really excited. I don't know if you remember, but earlier on this year, they released a big list of all the updates that they're going to be releasing this year, and they did mention that a lot of the updates will be introduced in Q4, so I wasn't really expecting them to release them, you know, halfway through the year, but what I would assume is they're releasing them now so that they can work out all the bugs and kinks before Q4 and before people start pushing record numbers on their stores. So I'm super excited that these features are finally starting to be pushed out, and I'm going to be going over probably the most important features, at least the ones that you really need to know about as a dropshipper, as, you know, a beginner level e-commerce brand where you're not pushing, you know, 10, 20, 30 million dollars a month. If you're just doing, you know, 6 figures a month or less, then these are really the key things that are going to make the biggest difference for you as you're running your store. So you need to know about these updates right now. So probably the number one update, and the thing that everybody is most excited about, is the one-page checkout feature. Now, what this basically allows you to do is it allows you to turn your checkout sales process into a one-page system, whereas now if somebody adds to cart, goes to checkout, they would basically put in their shipping information first, and then it would bring them to another page to put in their billing information. Now, obviously, if you're in e-commerce, and especially if you've been watching me for a while, you know that the more simple your sales process is, usually the higher your conversion rate and the easier it is to get people to actually buy. You're removing friction in the sales process. So Shopify has taken it upon themselves to actually increase their own average conversion rate by introducing a one-page checkout system. This is really incredible, and it's a feature that really shows that Shopify actually cares about the results that they're producing as somebody who has kind of like a cookie cutter website design that a lot of businesses rely on. It's very important that they stay up to date on the most recent, you know, conversion rate tactics and strategies so that the thousands and thousands of stores that they're hosting get the best conversion rate. And that's exactly why I love this update so much, because it shows that Shopify is actually paying attention. Now, my business is digital product business, has had a one-page checkout for a while now because we do not have shipping information. So pretty much when people click checkout, they go straight to the billing info, and it basically essentially is a one-page checkout. While it's not the full one-page checkout experience because we do not have shipping addresses, we have seen the effects, how much having a one-page checkout actually increases conversion rate, and it's a lot. It actually increases conversion rate quite a bit. They say that on an average across the board, it increases conversion rate by about 15%, which means if you had a 5% conversion rate, it'll bump you up to, I believe, like a 5.5, 5.7% conversion rate, which is a very substantial difference, especially if you're pushing a lot of volume on your store. You know, that could increase your profits by a lot. The thing that Shopify has put out is they put out 2 official apps. Now, Shopify has official apps. It's not new that they have official apps. And the reason I love the Shopify official apps is because they're fully built for the platform specifically. It's not a third-party development company coming in and trying to make an app that integrates perfectly. It's Shopify themselves coming in and actually making an app that integrates perfectly. And you don't have to worry about bugs. You don't have to worry about glitches because the apps themselves are made from Shopify. So it's all 100% built for the platform. Now, the 2 apps that they released is, one of them is a subscriptions app, which, oh my God, we needed this a lot. And the other one is a bundles app, which I have been asking for years. I have struggled to find a good subscription service that integrates with Shopify stores seamlessly. Subscriptions is a main part of my business, and I'm super excited to start experimenting with this new Shopify app, and hopefully all the issues that we had with our previous subscription app that we were using are fixed on this new subscriptions app. Same thing with bundles. We have numerous bundles on our website, and I've experimented a ton with different apps and different ways to do it, and they're always messy. They always look weird from a consumer standpoint. Like, for example, if they add the bundle to their cart, instead of it just going into their cart as a bundle, it'll go into their cart as like 5 different products that are bundled together. It's very confusing, especially when you mix in discount codes, and it just gets very ugly. So I'm very excited that Shopify has introduced this app, actually these 2 apps, because I think while there are a lot of third-party apps out there that offer decent solutions, they've always been kind of bootleg. They're not fully integrated with the Shopify platform, and you can tell that as the business owner, and you can also tell that as a consumer. So these 2 things are very exciting, and I'm also very excited to see what kind of apps that Shopify release in the future. I think one of the biggest ones that they could possibly release, even though there are some already really great solutions that are not that glitchy, but I think that they really need a reviews app. And maybe they already have one, but just not one that I've seen or tested out. So if you know of one, leave it in the subscription, one that's actually made by Shopify. But I think if they came out with this, like, reviews is such an integral part of e-commerce and what drives conversions online. I'm very, very surprised that they decided to go with subscriptions and bundles as opposed to making an official reviews app. Maybe the reason is because, again, there are really, really good solutions out there already. That would make sense to me, but that's probably why. Now, the next update that I think is worth mentioning and worth looking into, depending on your situation, I'm sure we're all familiar with Shopify Capital. If you open up your store, if you're pushing any type of revenue, over 10K a month, I don't really know what the threshold is, but you open up your store and it says Shopify is offering you $100,000 or whatever in Shopify Capital, and it kind of adjusts based on whatever revenue you're doing. And they kind of got into this credit game where they started lending money and allowing you to use your revenue to pay it back. They just released a credit card as a part of the last update. Now, I will be honest, I haven't looked into it that much, so I would highly encourage you to actually go to the Shopify update page and read about it yourself. But they're throwing around some pretty cool terms like no fees, no interest, extra days to pay, no credit checks, so it's very similar to like the Apple Card, are kind of like the vibes that I'm getting. But you actually get a physical card with the Shopify logo on it, which personally, I'm not like into collecting credit cards and stuff, but this is a cool card to have. And they're also talking about having some really cool cashback, rewards as a business. You can choose a top spend category, whether it's marketing or whatever. And overall, I would just recommend taking a look at this, especially because, at the end of the day, it's a credit line that you can use to grow your business. It's through Shopify, so it's going to be reputable. And you also get a card with a Shopify logo on it, which is pretty damn cool. One other thing that I would say is helpful for, drop shippers, lower level e-commerce brands is the AI features. I would say more for drop shippers. I wouldn't say that you would want to use AI a whole lot if you're a brand, unless it's for like back-end design work and things like this. But adding AI to like the descriptions, the design of your store, this is something that I think is very introductory right now, and it's not working the best. Like, I've tested a bunch of different tools, and honestly, it's just not worth the time overall. Like, most of the time you have to end up editing everything that the AI does anyways if you want it to come out good, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but it is worth mentioning. If you want to know all the specific, AI things that they released as a part of the update, I would highly recommend go read the actual website that has all of the Shopify updates listed, because there are, I think, over 100 of them, over 100 like specific things that they have changed, updated, whatever. And obviously I saved the most important ones, at least in my opinion, for this video, but there's a lot more updates in there. And if you want to know specifically what Shopify is introducing in terms of AI, then I would highly recommend going in and reading all the updates that are available. Now, with that being said, is Shopify on their way to directly competing and getting to a level of where Amazon is at? I think if they keep on introducing updates like this, where they're increasing average conversion rates and they're doing things with Shop Pay and credit cards, and they're offering in-house apps, and they're just getting into all these new things, I think that Shopify very well has the potential to be one of the biggest platforms out there. And actually, I think they're moving in the direction of becoming more like an Amazon style company, where it's more of a marketplace of a whole bunch of Shopify stores, where people can go and get reputable shipping times and reputable businesses to buy things from, which I think is really amazing. And all these little steps that Shopify is taking along the way, you can kind of see how it's pushing them in that direction of actually being able to provide that sort of service, which, if they do eventually do that, would be amazing for people like us. Because if we could have a hybrid of Amazon and a platform like Shopify, where we can have a marketplace, but the brand owners still own their data, they still run their own shipping services, that would just simply be amazing. And that would be a legitimate way that Shopify could compete with Amazon. Because right now, a lot of brands, if you get on Amazon, you don't get 100% of your data. It's a pain in the ass to track. Like, there's a lot of issues that come along with being a brand on Amazon, even though it's great because you get like free marketing and you can rank and they get a ton of users and stuff like that. I think Shopify is heading in the direction of, doing some really cool things similar to what Amazon is doing. doing, just in a better way. So again, really excited for these Shopify updates. What is your guys' favorite part of this Shopify update? Let me know in the comment section down below. Are you going to upgrade to Shopify Plus and get the one-page checkout? If you already have, how has it paid off for you? I'm really curious about these things. Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. This is Noah Brewer, and I'm out. Peace.